Welcome to the second round of the International Gran Turismo League here. Raiden taking victory in race 1 did mean that he is the championship leader. We've had a couple people drop out after the first race, but here we are for Monza. Let's take a look at the grid then, and it's Raiden that takes pole position, Melond on the front row, Vitman G third. So as the grid goes down, as there you can see it with the likes of Colm, Walter, Hunty, Crazy, Sissy, Hubbo, Hansa, Squeaks and Terminal Goat. So here we go then. Here we are on the grid at Monza. It's a long run into turn 1. There's another quick run through the grid as we build up the tension, ready for the second race of the 6th season of the International GT League. We're all lined up here on the grid. Raiden gets the clearest run into turn 1, and a long run it is indeed into turn 1 with Melond on the front row. Raiden incredibly qualifying, but what is he going to do? Is he going to take back-to-back victories at the start of this season? Lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Raiden. Melond, however, looks to be going away well, and he has. Melond looks to have gotten a good start. It's a long run into the first corner now. Vitmagine, third place with Nike Donna. He's alongside into fourth, and now we can see them all scrapping for positions. Melond does look to have made the move on Raiden, and he has. Melond is ahead. Nike Donna looks to try and get his way down past Raiden. Raiden manages to hold off against Nike Donna. Nike Donna fights back in the exit turn 2, but that's not quite enough. Vitmagine drops to fourth. So then Melond takes the lead at the start. Now Melond's got to keep going for 13 laps. Raiden second, third Nike Donna, fourth Vitman G, fifth is MJ Walter, who's now a full-time racer after covering for one of the drivers of the Red Bull Ring. Is now a full-time racer. Vitman G, MJ Walter's having to move on. Vitman G is going to go down the inside. No, he's not. Hubbo Fraggins tries to defend against DRT Hunty, and it looks like they're doing well. There's a bit of contact, I believe, kicking around. There's Colm and Squeaks. The two CSX boys are running around next to each other on the track. We head through the first Lesmo. So Walter up into 5th place with Vitman G dropping down to 4th. Nike Donna's in 3rd. Raiden has lost the lead at the start of this race. Is he going to be able to come back? Walter getting a bit close to the gravel there. Coming out of the second Lesmo as we charge down now into the sky. Melond has really started to open up a gap here over Raiden. And this is great news. Crazy Buttocks now on the back of Indecisi. Colm has dropped back. ERT Hunty's there. Hansa going very slow. He's got engine damage, so Hansa's been caught up in some sort of an incident. Terminal Goat is in 13th place then. At the back, so that's all kicking off. At the back, someone's getting a lot of dust being kicked up as they come out of the scurried onto the back straight now. Sissy's in the wall. Sissy in the wall. Got involved with an incident with Crazy Buttocks. What's going to happen next? We can see now as Sissy tries to recover. Hunty moves up into 9th place. Sissy moves out the way again. I'm really confused with what's going on here. Oh, and there's more contact, and Hansa just plows in. Sissy's gone round again. Crazy Buttocks has stopped. What is kicking off at the back of this order now as we rejoin the battle up front with Nike Donna in 3rd place, trying to make an assault on JPS Raiden for 2nd place. The double world champion for the IGTL running around in 4th place with G. Melond were not in the first race in the Red Bull Ring, so they already a race down and need to really have an impact here in Monza, and from this race onwards they needed to be moving forward to try and keep up with Raiden in the championship if anyone wants to take to the title fight. If Vitman G, the defending champion, the back-to-back double world champion, is he going to be able to defend his title for a 2nd time in a row? Vitman G is there in 4th. There's lap 1 incidents under investigation. Squeaks is just edging out. Hubbo Frames, a great start for an MJ Walter, running well in 5th place. Obviously it is only lap 2, we've a long way to go, and there are errors that could be made as we can see them all filing through. So then, Hunty, Colm is down in 7th and 8th, and 9th. Hunty replacing for BG number 28, who is not in this race. So then, Vitman G is on the back of Nike Donna, Raiden on the back of Melond. Raiden getting very close, so we're going to see an overtake into Ascari. It's not impossible, we've seen it happen in the past. No, it's not quite enough. Raiden does not go for the overtake here at Ascari. You can, if you get the exit, likely you can get them on the run into Parabolica on the back straight for the final corner. Raiden in the slipstream of Melond. Slipstream is going to be really key around Monza, the temple of speed. As here we go. Is Raiden close enough for a move for the lead into Parabolica? No, not yet. Well, he might be close enough, but he's not gone for the overtake. So Raiden just pacing himself, sitting behind right now. He's a good driver, he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to win races. Is this part of a master plan? Raiden really closing up here as we come into turn, as we charge down the main straight in toward the first corner. Raiden still behind Melond into turn 1, does not go for the overtake yet. Squeaks is just ahead of Hubbo Fraggins. So no, Raiden is not going for the overtake yet, but look how close he is to the back of Melond. He's practically pushing Melond around the track. Cornler's Hunty. Hunty down in 9th place, trying to hunt down Calm Downs for the top 8. There's a 3-point penalty for this man Hunty for causing collisions on the opening lap. For over 2 separate incidents, I believe. So then, MJ Walter. So one quick thing then about the reserve drivers, they will be scoring half points for the driver that they're replacing. So however many points that they pick up, it will be halved. So Crazy Buzzards also gets a penalty for an incident on that lap lap. So it was quite the hectic first lap at the back. These guys at the front looked to have just sort of ran away with it a bit. And they really starting to pull away, especially the likes of Raiden and Melond, the Austrian versus the Briton, the season 3 champion, looking for his second. Is he going to be enough? No scarring? Not yet. He's still not going for a move into a scarring. Will he get him though? You would like to put your money on Raiden. He is a pretty safe bet for winning a race. Here comes Raiden in the slipstream. Does he make a move? He's practically pushing him down the main straight. The Lexus that he is in, this is the Corvette of Melond. Raiden practically pushing him down the back straight there. Accelerates out of the Parabolica curve and onto the main straight. Now this is the real overtaking spot because it's a heavy braking zone for Retofilio, which is the first chicane. Is Raiden, again he's practically pushing him down the main straight. They are very close to each other. Does Raiden pull out into the inside? No, he does not. He sits behind him again for some more corners. He is looking at the back. He's staring down the exhaust pipe of Melond. But is he going to get it in closer to him? Is Squeaks, who's got Hobo Fraggins really close to the back of him. They both gone ahead of MJ Walter somehow. So I wonder if Walter has made an error because he's now dropped back behind Hobo Fraggins, behind CSX Squeaks. So then, these are now in 5th and 6th, which is the battle we're watching right now. Hobo Fraggins, he's not exactly close to Squeaks at the moment, so he's not really close enough to make a move to get inside the top 5. It's really the best that anyone in the midfield can go for. Terminal Goat is also replacing TNT for this race. So then, here's Raiden, still behind Melon, still just pacing his way down, waiting for the right opportunity to overtake. I'm sure he's got a plan as to how to win this race. He knows how to win races in the IGTL. He is one of the most successful and arguably one of the greatest IGTL drivers in the Group 3 series. He gets a bit of a wobble on though, a huge wobble on. That's not going to help him get anywhere closer to the back of Melond onto this back straight now. So they head into Parabolic. It's quite the heavy braking zone. Overtake, it is possible into a scar. It's not always favoured. It sometimes can be easier for you to follow the car in front of you, follow the car in front of you and get into that braking point at turn 1. But the thing is, you really need to spot that braking point, and you could see Raiden is visibly quite a distance back. Considering last lap he was practically pushing down the main straight, he is now quite some significant way back. And like I was saying, for this corner it's a real challenge on the brakes. You really need to spot your braking point, because if you just brake the slightest bit too late, it can really be devastating. But if you brake too early, it has a similar effect. So you've got to really make sure you know your braking point. You have to really trust the car into turn 1. Another key overtaking spot which we'd keep an eye out for is this second chicane. If you can get the run out of the first corner and keep it nicely through Curva Grande, and you can get side by side going into the chicane, it is possible to overtake the chicane, but it is also possible for an incident to be had at that corner. So watch for cars maybe trying to get past one another into turn 1, and if not there, maybe even into the second chicane. So we will see how this race pans out. We've obviously got a long way to go yet. We're just under halfway of distance, and the top 4 are there or thereabouts in the same shots. The Magilix have dropped back a bit from Night Donna. Night Donna seems to be gaining on Raiden, but it's not by anything significant. Raiden trying to keep with Melon. I'm really not sure what's happening to Vitmanji and why he seems just so far. Well, he's not exactly miles behind, but he's not really in this fight like you would expect him to be, being the double world champion that he is. You wouldn't really expect him to be this far behind the fight for the lead that we're watching right now between Raiden and Melon, but one small error and you could drop to third, maybe fourth if you're Raiden, or even Melon, depending on the magnitude of the mistake. It is possible that maybe Melon, just a small error, could go off the track at the Lesmos or something, could drop him all the way to fourth and be curtains to his chances of winning. You can see there though, Raiden gaining in the slipstream, still like a bit of smoke, spews itself out of the friction between the tyres and the road as they brake heavily into that first corner. Raiden is visibly much closer now, but is he going to be close enough? How does he take this Curva Grande? Is he going to be close enough for a move into the second chicane? We're about to find out. I don't think he is. I would not reckon he is. I don't think Melon needs to be driving overly defensive. Raiden does not need to be driving aggressive. He knows what's at risk here. If it gets slightly wrong, you bounce yourself over the curbs. Lesmo's not really the ideal place to overtake, but fortune favours the board if you want to try it, and in fact Melon got a small bit wide out of the Lesmos. That corner can trip you up. It sometimes looks quicker, and he's gone out wide, and he's on the gravel, and he looks to have lost it. He's gone very slow across the gravel, across the grass. He dropped third. Does Vitman G get in front? They go side by side, and he does. Vitman G now into third place. An error from Melon has cost him a possible shot at victory. Now Raiden is ahead, and we know how hard Raiden is. Colm is on the back of MJ Walter. Colm getting a huge wobble on now. Is MJ Walter? Is Walter going to be able to defend against Colm? The CSX driver comes to the inside. He goes to the outside and swoops through down the straight. An easy move from Colm. Seemingly an error from Walter seemed to have cost him there, and that was really problematic. We can see all sorts of drivers cracking under pressure, and that has included the list of Melon, which is quite the shame because now obviously there is a while to go and the race is looking quite close in front, but you can never really tell what's going to happen. Night Donner first to respond is into the pits. I reckon again it's going to be another one stop. It's looking like the trend this season, recent times in the IGTL, that it is one stops. I'm not sure whether they're trying to do anything to change this. CSX squeaks 6th place. How about Fraggins now moves up into 4th. Colm, he does stay out, but Walter comes in. What about, so that means that Raiden leads Vitman from Melon and Hubble Fraggins, and Colm down. It's essentially the first time Raiden has led this race since the grid, because he actually lost the lead by the time they got into the first corner at the start, and has just been following Melon since, just putting on the pressure, not wanting to do anything stupid, and it seemed to have just worked. Melon just seems to have run just like a couple of inches too far off wide, and it's really just cost him the lead and possibly the win. Obviously it doesn't matter how many times you lead, it just so matters that you're leading the race at the checkered flag, which obviously looked so close for Melon. He was doing well, but unfortunately errors happen to everyone, and that one could be crucial in the long run. So Night Donner comes out of the pits behind Colm, behind Hubble Fraggins. Squeakers didn't pit. Walter pitted in, comes out ahead of Crazy Buttocks, who was a long way down, got involved in incidents on the opening lap. So then, is Crazy going to be close enough to Walter? Crazy hasn't pitted yet, I'm willing to bet, judging by his fuel gauge. The leaders look to be coming into the pits. We'll see if Raiden pits in, we'll see if Vitman pits in, we'll see if Melon pits in. They most likely will. Raiden in, Vitman in, Melon in. Now, crucially, where is Night Donner come out? Where are they all going to come out? And in fact, that's Crazy Buttocks off. Crazy Buttocks off at the Lesmo, and he has lost the position to Hunty, and that alleviates, increases the gap sizably. As you can see, getting a bit of a Tokyo drift going on in the background, and now Walter's got Hunty to deal with. So where is Night Donner? Because when Night Donner already pitting, we'll see where these come out, the top 3 come out in relation to Night Donner. We'll see what happens. It could be quite crucial in the pit stops. Colm's in as well. Raiden out in the lead. Night Donner's coming down the main straight now. Melon is ahead of Vitman G in the pit stops. Is Melon ahead of Night Donner? No, he's not. So Melon slots in behind Night Donner and ahead of Vitman G. So crucially, Vitman G was dropped a position in the pits because he was in 3rd when he pitted, or at least he was in 2nd actually when Night Donner pitted. So he's gone from 2nd to 4th in the pit stops. Night Donner kind of kept his position because he was in 3rd when he 2nd when he pitted, so it worked out for Night Donner. Melon has come out in 3rd place. He has jumped Vitamin G in the pits. Well, that means he's done a better job of fuel saving, or he's short fueled. But now these three cars are going to be battling each other. But Frank is still all over the back of Squeaks. I believe Fraggins pitted first out of these two. It was Fraggins that pitted and then Squeaks has come out of the pits. Not certain that I believe has happened either way. They have both pitted because I believe at this point everyone has made their pit stop. Vimanji then 4th place, he's behind Melon, he's behind Nike. These three scrapping for 2nd place, and what a race we are having up front, by the way. This is being quite a fascinating race up front to see 4 cars all going at it for the win. Here's Hunty all over the back of Walter. There's, I believe that was Terminal Goat just in the background. You can see the chrome red and black BMW. I believe that was designed by Crazy Buttocks on livery. So this is the learner driver of MJ Walter. This is the orange-white fade that Hunty is racing in replacement of Robbo for this round. Well, Fraggins on the back of Squeaks. We'll see if Fraggins can get close enough later on, but Melon is close enough tonight, and now in the slipstream, the Lexus versus the Corvette, and Melon pulls to the inside, he goes to the inside, and he is through on the main straight. Melon takes 2nd place away from Knight Donner. So then, Knight Donner drops now down to 3rd place, but Knight goes for it, he goes straight into turn 1. Very nearly had him there, but that was very opportunistic under the brakes. That nearly ended in disaster, and Knight really immediately tried to get immediate effect there on Melon and retake that position instantly. Didn't quite work out for Knight. He is still behind Melon. I'm sure Knight's going to want to go for 2nd. We've got Hopper Fraggins, we've got Squeaks in 5th and 6th place. There's Colm hanging around in 7th, trying to catch up to these two to see if he can have a go on for 5th place. But meanwhile up front then, Nike is behind Melon and looks to have dropped back slightly. Melon has caught up onto Raiden, so these 4 all in the same shot here. What a race we are getting up front, ladies and gentlemen. And let's hope this is what is to come for the rest of this season, because if this is the case, we could have one hell of a season in the IGTM, and you're going to want to stay on board to see who will come out on top when the season is done. Meanwhile then, Vitman then into the Ascari chicane. We have him catching up to Knight Donner. Melon is in 2nd, trying to catch up to JPS Raiden. We'll see if it's going to be enough for Raiden to edge out. Raiden's been doing well, he's got fastest lap so far. He's not quite led everything in Red Bull. He led everything in Red Bull Ring. He did really well there. A really dominant performance from Raiden. It's not quite as dominant, but he's still doing what he needs to do to lead this race, and he's still doing what he needs to do to win this race. He is looking all set with 4 laps to go, unless Melon can really challenge to try and take back the victory from him. Here comes Melon. He's closing in the DRS, in the slipstream. And here we go, to the outside, around the outside, tries to go Melon into turn 1. It's not enough. Raiden stays ahead. He is still ahead. Now does Melon get close enough? Out of turn 2 as we charge around into Curva Grande. Knight Donner looks to drop back. Melon is all over the back of him. Through turn 3 now as we rise around the corner and into the 2nd chicane. Is this going to be enough? Is Raiden going to stay in front? Melon is all over him. Melon goes to the outside yet again. Raiden goes defensive. Who breaks later? They look to have broke around the same time. Melon tries to get around the outside, and it was not enough. And Raiden gets a huge moment coming out of turn 5, and that did not mean enough. Melon is still sat behind. Brilliant defense from Raiden, and what an attempt from Melon. He really tried to go, and he's made an error. He's gone off somewhere, and he's hit the barrier. I think he's just been caught out on the curb, on the grass or something, and it's really just spun him round. Vimanji now moves up into 3rd place. JPS Raiden now has to deal with Knight Donner behind. Squeaks and Hopper Fraggins are still going at each other. This race has suddenly got exciting with not very long left, 4 laps to go, and all these positions to play for. Hunty could get 8th from MJ Walter as they head into the 2nd chicane. So we zoom back through Hopper Fraggins in 6th place. He's been behind Squeaks already. Vitman is on the back of Knight Donner. He's trying to close up to Knight Donner, the Atenza, the Corvette. We've seen time and time again in this race has been quick on the straight, but small errors from Melon look to have really cost him not 1 but 2 shots at a victory here. Within this race, it's really unfortunate mistakes from Melon, but He has made them now, and there's nothing much he can say. Now Raiden leads onto lap 11 with Night Donna in second place. Is Melon going to be close enough to try and have a pop at the two-time world champion? It looks like he's going to go for it into turn 1, and down the inside goes Melon under braking. He makes the move again before the braking zone, and Melon is back into third place, back on the podium. What a drive it's been from Melon. He's really doing all he can for the Austrian, who's had quite the race. Night Donna is still in second place now, and he's actually dropped back from Raiden to Raiden. Suddenly flicked a switch or something, it's just sort of gone. Melon, third place, Vitman G, fourth. Any one of these three drivers could end up in second place, and they're all going to want it. Is Vitman G, I thought he was going to go for it, then he looked to be shaping up a move. There's a bit of dust being kicked up over Fraggins, getting closer to Squeaks. We can see now, is that going to be enough? Is he going to be enough for Fraggins? So in round Curva Grande, Vitman G, Melon, Night Donna in 4th, 3rd and 2nd place. Night Donna's on the back, got Melon behind him. Is Melon going to be able to get close enough into Ascari? Not yet. Shall see. Vitman G is on the back now, quite quickly of Melon. Is Vitman G going to go for it into Ascari? No, he's not. It looks like his intentions were there. He's filling up the mirrors of the Austrian, making sure that Melon knows he's there, so that he can't like get too... don't know what the word is, but either way, Melon third place. They're all so close to each other, you could fit them 2, 3, 4 in that order. Look at them. Down into the final corner now. Heading on to the penultimate lap. I thought it looked like Vitman G was going to go for an overtake there into Parabolica. He's getting very frisky now, he's getting very racy. Are we going to see them all make a move now? Melon, and now Vitman G is trying to get the move on Melon as he moves up to the outside. Melon in the slipstream. Look at them all pushing each other along. Melon goes to the inside. Night Donna. Vitman G looks to go through the middle of the move. That was very nearly 3 wide. And Vitman G goes to the inside. Melon through on Night. Vitman G gets down the inside on Night Donna into turn 1. Vitman is through. Night Donna loses 2 places. Melon gets him in a second. And now Vitman G turns his sights onto Melon for second place now. Is he going to be able to get him into the second chicane? We're on the penultimate lap, and suddenly this race has just gotten exciting. Is Vitman G going to go for it? He goes to the outside. Melon doesn't really make a difference in his line here. He keeps going. Vitman G gets to the inside, and down the inside goes Vitman G. And that's second place. The double world champion has moved himself up into second, but Raiden is too far ahead, it looks like, for him to really make any headway on him. He's surely going to try, but with the laps we have left, it might not be enough. But what a move that was. He's gained 2 positions in the span of 4 corners. He's just suddenly, I don't know, he's just suddenly turned something on or something. The Vitman G head has just suddenly switched on, and there he goes. He's making all moves all over the place. Now then, Night Donna on the back of Melon. Is this going to be enough? We've got Squeaks only just edging out Hobo Fraggins. Coleman's a long way back, but he could be possibly, these two have a tangle and end up crashing into each other, which we can never really rule out in motorsport. It's always a possibility. Not that these two would like for that to happen, but it is a possibility to see that it could happen. But here we go then. Hobo Fraggins on the back of Squeaks. Is it going to be enough into Ascari? He's in the slipstream, he's trying, he's following, but I don't think it will be. He goes to the outside, to Ascari, around the outside. He tries to go on around the outside. He does. He commits to that outside line, and that's not enough from Fraggins. And that's not really a place we've seen many overtakes. We've seen them previously, and we've seen attempts previously. But in this race, we've not really seen many moves at Ascari, but we could be on set to see another overtake soon. From 9th place to get further inside the top 10. Hunty versus Terminal Goat. 2 reserves are going at each other then, and Melon is just edging at Night Donna. The final lap of the race, and what a race this has been. Up front, the battle has been brilliant, and let's hope for more of this sort of battle as the season goes on between these 4 drivers. The Red Bull of Night Donna is closing in on the Corvette of Melon, but will Melon be able to hold off against Night Donna for this final lap to grab a spot on the podium? Vitman G has done well in his first race of the season. Obviously missed out in the Red Bull ring, as did Melon. Vitman G has moved into second, but he needs to win if he wants to really try and make it get his 3rd straight championship in the IGTL here. So Melon, he is 3rd on the final lap. We've had 12 full laps of excellent racing, and we're on halfway through the 13th now. Night Donna is on the back of Melon, but he's not close enough. He moves to the outside. Night Donna tries to get around the outside of Melon. There's a bit of wheel banging coming down the backstretch. and around the outside. Night Donna gets it just before the braking zone. He's able to swoop back ahead, and Night Donna is on the podium on the final lap. Night Donna takes third place. But your winner, it looks like, for today in Monza, his second straight win this season, pole position and the fastest lap. He is really a man on a mission at the start of this season, but how much longer can he remain on form? Your winner, JPS Raiden Wittmann G looks to bring it home in P2, and what a race it was from Wittmann. He really had to make it work to get into second place. Night Donna third, fourth Melon, but only just. Look at the gap. Squeaks is just edging out Albert Fraggins. Will this battle end? How will this battle end? And with Colm not too far behind, but it looks like he's not going to be close enough. Just a couple more laps. Colm has really been a man on a mission to try and get up to these two. Just a couple more laps, and Colm could possibly have them both. So then over Fraggins, he's all over the back of him. He goes one way, he goes the other way, and around the outside, and Squeaks has run out of fuel, and Oba gets him on the line. Oba gets fifth on the line. Squeaks just edges out against Colm on the line. Squeaks has run out of fuel. Walter 8th, Hunty 9th, Terminal got 10th, 11th Hansa, Crazy Buttocks in 12th place, and your one retirement was Indecisi, but Raiden taking back-to-back victories, and there has been no better way to start this season of the International GT League. Is this the season he defends, he gets his second title and joins Wittmann G as drivers with more than one championship? We're about to find out. We've got a long way to go, but this could be one hell of a season. And we will join you next time in Japan for the Autopolis round, a new track and a difficult one at that, so we could see a bunch of incidents. But with that, let's look at the table. Raiden then sits comfortably 18 points ahead of Night Donna, who sits second. Wittmann G moves up into third. Squeaks somehow into fourth place in the championship, so a great start to the season from him. Robbo is a man that really needs to get himself sorted, as does M3 Guy and Foxy. Goodbye.